We need to talk about recovery factors. Hi, I am Melissa from melissaversusfibromyalgia.com, and I want to share with you my favorite supplement for fibromyalgia. So this is my little bottle of it. Recovery factors, amino acid complex. So I wanted to give you a bit of a background, so I can give you research and I can give you my experience. And then it's up to you to do some research and have a chat with the people in your team to decide if it's right for you. But it has made such a difference for me that I have to let you know about it. Now, remembering that everything we do is hitting kind of the whole of life thing, and so I have a whole of life protocol, and so recovery factors is one of the kind of top 5 or 10 things that I do to manage the fibromyalgia as well as possible. I've gone from moderate to mild in the past several years, and this is one of those key parts. So recovery factors is a porcine serum derived polypeptide complex. So basically it has all of the amino acids in there. So I think what's happening with it is that you're hitting all of those nutritional deficiencies and getting them into the bloodstream in a more efficient way than perhaps eating some of those things and then letting it convert in your body. I know one of the amino acids in here is L-tryptophan, which is part of 5-HTP and helps with sleep, and also there's a good amount of iron in there, which is useful for someone like me who cannot keep their iron levels up. I can't even get my iron levels up through supplementation, but recovery factors, I have kept it up. So basically, recovery factors came on my radar at the end of 2019 when Dr. Teitelbaum, who you know that I love, his book From Fatigue to Fantastic is a must read, but he was offering the opportunity to try a supplement that he had been finding helpful so that he could do a bit of an informal research study. So I said, yes, please. Really quickly, I started when I got it in early 2020 and gave it a go and really haven't turned back since then. So being an avid learner, I was researching and looking for information from the second I heard about it. So I found this quote here: patients with sleep disorders demonstrate a nutritional deficiency of tryptophan, choline, and GABA. Fibromyalgia patients also have reduced blood levels of serotonin and 5-HTP. Please don't make me say the full version of that word, but basically a double-blind randomized trial compared an amino acid-based medical food with trazodone to study sleep latency and parasympathetic autonomic nervous system improvement in sleeping hours, and the results showed improved sleep quality without morning grogginess, along with improved nighttime parasympathetic activity with the use of the medical food. Now, we know that sleep is important for fibromyalgia, and we know that the nervous system is important for fibromyalgia. So that's a pretty cool finding. Amino acids really do help a lot of different parts of the body as well. So from treating sleep disorders and energy deficits to the nervous system and methylation factors that support proper neutralizing and elimination of toxins. There really is quite a lot that these amino acids can do if we can get them into the right place and digest it well. An old article I found from Dr. Teitelbaum's website says, I recommend supplementation with all of the amino acids as opposed to using a single one by itself, as that supplies overall nutritional support and it's less likely to cause a relative deficiency of other amino acids because they play a part together, right? So you don't want to over supplement one and not another. So that's the kind of the background of using amino acids and what they can do for us. The results from the study were pretty impressive. So it was 69.5% increase in energy from using recovery factors, 69.2% average increase in overall well-being, 54.1% average improvement in sleep, 60.5% average improvement in mental clarity, 37.9% average decrease in discomfort, 34.8% average improvement in calmness, that's that parasympathetic nervous system and the central nervous system balancing, and 54.6% improvement in digestive symptoms. And this is certainly my finding as well. The increase in energy, the improvement in sleep, and the improvement in digestive symptoms were all remarkable for me. And I think that it stems from sleep. I think a lot of it comes from sleep. But anyway, so the first couple of nights when I was taking recovery factors, I took the full dose as recommended and I slept like I was heavily sedated. And then when I woke up in the morning, my neck was so sore from the immobility and I had a severe headache. So after struggling through a few days of feeling more and more lethargic, I emailed Dr. Teitelbaum's office asking if I should reduce the dose, and Dr. T himself responded and said, yep, I should definitely decrease the dose and play with it and see what works for me. So I reduced to half of the dose and I continued to sleep better but less heavily. I noticed less gut issues and slightly less pain and some more energy, which will have come from probably freeing up energy with the gut issues, but also from the sleep. Now, because I have a reduced dosage, then my bottle lasts me longer, which helps. So that was a good finding, because getting the bottle to New Zealand is a bit expensive when you add postage on top of converting American dollars to New Zealand dollars. But in March 2020, I ran out and then we had lockdown in New Zealand. So I had no supplement, no physiotherapy, lots of stress, no childcare, and a brand new job. I started working 20 hours a week back in my kind of in real life job as a fundraiser, and my sleep deteriorated, and migraines, which I had had none in so long, I think maybe one the year before, escalated. I mean, I had so many days where I was incapacitated, and it was a pretty rough time. In June, I agreed with my doctor that I'd go back on amitriptyline to try and help manage them, because I really didn't want to escalate to any of the migraine medicines yet. Like, I'm not against them, but I wanted to try things that I knew already. But I also ordered the Recovery Factors supplement because it had just become available to public at that point. So my bottle arrived much quicker than I expected due to the pandemic, so I was very happy about that. I started with 2 tablets a night right before bed, which I take with my low-dose naltrexone, and so between that I was sleeping better. So I was getting between 10 and 18% deep sleep most of the time, and we know that deep sleep is a big issue in fibromyalgia, and for that reason alone, that's why I pay $100 New Zealand dollars a month, not a month, per bottle. It lasts me, I think, 2 months. Because I take 3 tablets a day, because I can't handle the higher dose. So it's basically doing the job of a really good quality multivitamin, but does so much more than a multi can do. So it's pretty exciting. And like I said, for the first time, my iron levels got up without painful injections in my butt. So that was fun. But remember, if you're considering trying it, you want to check for interactions. So, Recovery Factors doesn't really have any interactions, but it is always good to check, especially if you're on medicines, and also check with your iron levels, because loads of us have low iron levels, but there are a few of us who have too high iron levels, and that is not a good thing. So it's good to just double check. So last year, basically everything was improving. Even with lockdown, even getting pregnant, even starting my yoga studio and working. I was so excited and so happy, and it was a great year. And then silly me decided to see if I could experiment. So I tried a generic liver supplement, so like a whole food supplement of liver, to see if that could give me what Recovery Factors gave me, but for basically half the price, and it was available here in New Zealand, so I didn't have to worry about delivery times and supply, but it did not work at all. I gave it a good month, but my sleep decreased and my pain and fatigue increased. So by the second night back on Recovery Factors, I could tell the difference for sure. So basically I'm never going off it again. But basically that is my long and winding story, including the stats of the study of why I love Recovery Factors. And So it is basically a key part of my protocol now. Low-dose naltrexone and recovery factors, I take them every night before bed, coupled with my yoga nidra guided meditation, which I do every day at lunchtime, pacing, as you know, and all of the other little bits and pieces that fit together. Tell me, have you tried recovery factors? Are you thinking of trying it now because of what I shared with you? Let me know. Also, if you do want to try it, I actually have a discount code that you can use, so check that out as well. I'll catch you again soon.